almost right off the plane after coming back from Poland, 9 a.m. Monday morning. I've got a meeting with Strange Scaffold.
Nice.
To talk about the summer of Strange Scaffolds, essentially celebrating their 7th release within 2 years.
Wow.
So
it's really good.
And announcing some games and stuff. So to give you some background, these are the same guys that did El Paso Elsewhere, Airport Dog Game. But in the past 2 years, they've released Life Eater, Click Golding, a game I never even heard of called Meow Wolf's River Heights Mall Gene Splicer 3000, which I think is like only in like some specific place in like arcade cabinet or something. I don't know what's going on with that game. I Am Your Beast.
Nice.
Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown, and Co-op Kaiju Horror Cooking.
Great title.
Which
I know exactly what it is from the name.
Yes. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like it's a working title until it's just the title kind of thing. So first I'm going to go through a couple announcements they made. Then we'll talk more about Co-op Kaiju Horror Cooking, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the studio stuff. Co-op Kaiju Horror Cooking just announced for July 29th.
Wow.
That this will be out. Ready to go.
Jeez.
So what this studio is all about is about making games faster, better, cheaper, healthier. And also like right now you can already get in on a playtest.
Oh, great.
And start playing it from beginning to end.
Nice.
And it's basically, before I get into the like depths of the preview, it's basically like a 4-player, you've got to cook foods for kaiju as a group of monks. We'll get into that. The next one that they just announced, Huber, is Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator.
What?
Which is, obviously, it's sort of like a pseudo sequel to Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. So where does the depths of society go from here? It's buying and selling and shorting stocks on the simulated lives of babies.
Unreal. What on earth?
Fast-paced stock market sim.
Oh my god.
They just started this one a month ago. And then the next one, Truck-Kun is supporting me from another world. And this just started last week. And this is basically based off a conversation with Zalavir's wife. That this trope in isekai where it always starts with someone getting hit by a truck.
That's funny.
So you basically play as the truck.
Oh my god.
and so it's like they describe it as like a cross between Crazy Taxi and Tamagotchi.
That is a cool mashup. You have my attention.
Yeah, quote, a chaotic anime-inspired vehicular action game about driving into objects at high speed to rescue the corporate ladder climber you accidentally isekai'd into a dangerous medieval fantasy world.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And again, just started last week. So that goes back to like their whole philosophy of like, we're just going to like let you see the nonsense stuff that we're working on behind the scenes.
Wild.
But to get to the bulk of it, let's get to Co-op Kaiju Horror Cooking. I keep expecting another word. I'm so used to these long titles. I'm expecting another word.
Yeah.
So think along the veins of like Lethal Company or Peak or something like that. The 4-player friend games.
4-player friends.
Interestingly enough, he was saying this wasn't really about trying to jump on that trend or anything. This is like ideas that he had in his head for a while. Actually started inspired by reading the book of Leviticus.
Whoa.
And he's like, oh, like a lot of people like see this as like the boring part of the Bible or whatever. And he's reading and he's like, these are like game mechanics. And
okay.
So you play as this group of monks who has to like save the world from these kaiju. By once a year, you chant to raise this platform. And then you're on this like cliff face looking at whatever kaiju is approaching you for that year. And then there is like this paper there that one of you has to like hold, like it's like an inventory item.
Oh, okay. Like
and
like
it's
Sea
like-
of Thieves, like hold the
Yeah,
map.
yeah. So they're like, so these are the things that the kaiju likes and is okay with, and things that they just hate. So it's like, they could be like, oh, they like pepper, they like garlic, they like meat, they like cooked foods, they like raw foods, and then you go into this dungeon called the larder, and you have to find the ingredients and then chop it up and cook it. Or whatever, maybe they don't like chopped food. Maybe they like something that's raw.
Yeah.
But some of those ingredients may be monster meat. And so, like, you
Kill
got to
some-
chop down a zombie or whatever. There are also what they call, I think, spice falls. There's just, like, spice or butter or oil just dripping from the ceiling. And when you walk through that, all of your inventory gets coated in that
Oh
substance.
my gosh.
So in some cases, maybe you want to find that, but in
Yeah,
other
yeah.
cases, if the monster doesn't like that, then you're creating, you're coming up with you're creating a problem for yourself.
Sounds really thoughtful.
I'm trying to think of what else they got in there, because they like actually did play it in front of us on the Discord. They kind of demoed it. And then, there's stuff to buy from shops. Oh, there are these. So you've got the butcher knives and stuff, right?
Yeah.
There are these rats that will steal things out of your inventory, and so like you gotta like
Damn
fend
rats.
off these giant rats.
Damn rats.
But then it was like the rat actually stole the knife that they were attacking with.
That rules. That rules, Bloodworth.
And then, so like there's this dinosaur-looking one that like it loves bread, wants crushed, cooked garlic, oil, pepper, doesn't, and it hates chicken. So don't give it chicken. But these things are all kind of randomized. And then you can use your torch to cook things, or to like light like oil things on the ground.
Nice. Essential.
There are wooden crosses to banish evil spirits.
Whoa.
There's bats that will like flip your controls backwards and upside down or something. I
Maybe
don't
they
remember.
like poison you or something.
Yeah, they make your controls backwards. So you hold the torch to keep the bats away. So it does the proximity chat thing, Huber, but there are also kind of like on a captain's cabin on a ship or something. There are like these tubes.
Like a PA system.
Yeah, you can
That's
talk into
sick.
a tube to talk to everybody in
That's
the
great.
whole level, all your friends.
I'll be playing the bugle in that thing.
And then let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, when you go down, there was like this crazy thing. So yeah, see the hearts dropping out of the other monks. So you can take the heart of your fallen comrade and bring it back up to the cliff, and it will regenerate. So that way, like, because you know how like with Peak, like I kept having this issue, like I would die, and then like, oh, I'm just out of the
Yeah.
group now. So instead of just being out of the group, you can regenerate and get back in.
Can I kill you and feed the kaiju your heart?
I think so. I
Great.
think you can. That's the other part. Yeah, use the catapult to like actually catapult the food
Awesome.
to the kaiju.
Awesome.
Now here's the other part that's really pretty different, Huber. In between these runs, there's this whole story going on in the monastery that takes place over like 13 years.
Whoa.
And it's exploring this whole idea of, like, of kind of the changing of the guard and like having to like go from like putting your faith into somebody to now you have to be the leader. So they're like,
Okay.
there's like you're having like
Some heavy themes.
yeah, having the funerals for like the people who were originally in charge. And then, but then there are the other characters that are in the monastery that are kind of jerks, and dealing with them. And they say that layer is like, it's a little bit more optional. Like you don't necessarily have to like engage completely with it. But
That sounds really interesting.
yeah, it definitely is. And then there are also in the larder there are treasures that you can bring back to the monastery to get yourself upgrades and stuff as well in between years.
Nice.
And again, July 29th.
Fun, bud.
Yeah, I think it could be really fun.
Yeah. I can't wait to stream this.
Yeah.
I just love this trend of these 4-player buddy games, like you're saying, you know?
Yeah.
And this one looks really thoughtful, and obviously Strange Scaffold is awesome. So
Yeah.
this is on my list, dude. And I love kaijus.
Trying to see what else there is here, because they sent me the email afterwards. Medieval soundtrack by the composer that did Dredge and Creepy
Shout
Redneck
out.
Dinosaur Mansion 3. No tomatoes, since they were only introduced to Europe in the 16th century.
No tomatoes. It looks really cozy.
Yeah. And then real quick, just they just kind of talked. They had some Q&A about different things. So there's stuff in here that was from about the game, and then other things that are just about the studio as well. But he was, Zalabi was basically saying is like the number one thing he's creating is the studio, is like having this identity of let's try, this is like their first multiplayer game. Let's try this, let's try that. It is sustainable for them doing this. And he's not necessarily saying that like, oh, this is the way that everybody needs to make games, but there should be more ways to make games rather than just like this very like regimented focus. Like there should be more approaches to things. And they're saying that like the way that they're doing it allows them to kind of spread things out and like try different ideas without everything riding on like, oh, we've got to have our Balatro in order to be a success.
Right.
You know, it's like not every game's going to be a Balatro. You can't ride on that.
Not every game's going to be a peak.
And part of this is that they're going to do like a Steam bundle sale for like all of their games, tied in with the Summer of Strange Scaffold. And what he was saying is like kind of creating that identity and that following. So like Life Eater, one of the games that I've said in the past, like I'm just not into that game. The game freaks me out.
Yeah.
That game was not successful. That game released and sold like 13,000 copies.
Wow.
But now
I remember that one.
he's saying that like because people have gotten into some of the more recent
I Am Your
games,
Beast.
they go back and they start checking out more of the catalog, and now Life Eater is kind of actually on the verge of breaking even. So
Yeah, this one looked disturbing as hell.
yeah, right. So and then talked about some of that. And I think this game here has like only been in the works for like a year or so. A lot of the ideas came from a new programmer that they had brought on staff, and his perspective and talking about how cooking is kind of like a differentiating factor from like a lot of the other similar games that are out there. And then
Cooking?
Yeah.
Is it?
Like there's not cooking in like Lethal Company or Peak or anything like that. Like you have Overcooked.
Yeah.
But that's the most similar thing where you're like ordering,
Yeah, I guess you don't really
putting
cook
up
in those
ingredients.
ones.
Like there's
I totally thought you
a
like,
lot of
cooked in
games that
the-
have cooking, but there's
Yeah.
not like a lot of games that like where you're like, let me run out and get all this batch of ingredients and stuff like that. And if they are, they're like more Harvest Sim-y type.
That makes sense.
Type life sims, you know?
Yeah.
Not like a more fast-paced dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, and they're talking about like how much is required versus like how many of the rules can they like bend and break, in this game and their other games. Crazy things about the studio, they are part-time. They're
Part-time?
Yeah, they're
With this output?
yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah, they're part-time. They're saying that like that allows them to create different dynamics and how they schedule things and what they expect of timelines and everything like that, and be more
doing it.
accommodating to people with kids and those kinds of things.
They're doing everything right, man. Jeez.
So everyone has, or at least had, work outside of the studio, but now with the rampant layoffs of the past 2-3 years, they're having to deal with the challenge of like, so now for some people, because they lost their day job, like this is the thing that's like keeping them going. So making sure that they can try to give them as much support as they can. Just having that freedom and that agility to do weird, crazy things.
what this industry needs.
They made
Bloodworth.
Tactical Takedown. Do you mean
Exactly.
in 18 months?
That's crazy.
Budget of $300,000.
Wow.
And they're saying because of that,
The game is incredible.
yeah, but they're saying because of that, because they were low scope, low budget, low risk, then they were able to do things like, Shredder and Splinter are dead.
Yeah.
Just off the bat.
Yeah.
We're just going to go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So awesome.
turtles are almost not teenagers anymore.
Yeah. Just having that, because if you're doing, a Batman Arkham type $200 million Turtles game, you got to start checking some boxes.
Right.
It was like-
Yeah, and also like genre-wise, it's a turn-based beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So cool stuff.
Awesome, Blood.
I think co-op kaiju horror cooking will be fun.
I agree. It looks awesome.
I'm curious to see what kind of insanity we get
I
ourselves
know.
into.
Totally going to feed one of us to the kaiju. It's going down.
Yeah, no, I think I
volunteer.
think it's in the trailer. I think there's that
volunteer.
moment where like, yeah, you can just get launched.
Toss me.
All right. Thank you for watching. We're Easy Allies. Check out the Easy Allies podcast every week. I've got lots of previews, especially the summer game preview episode that went up recently. That's a chunky 4-hour thing, but you can take it in bits. Lots of things coming out this summer, cool games. And this was not on our list because we didn't know it was going to be coming out on July 29th.
Had no clue.
But yeah, put it on the pile. There we
Yeah.
go. And also, if you like what you see, you can go to patreon.com/easyallies. We need your support. We're independent. We're doing this for our patrons, and you're the ones that keep us going. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.